All right, everyone. We have Craig and also Matt here. We're gonna be talking about the new Aliens Fireteam Elite, and I'm very excited to talk to them about this, man. So, guys, you want to introduce yourself? Let's go with Craig first.
Oh, sure. I'm Craig. I'm head of studio at Cold Iron here.
All right.
Hey, Danny, Matt, creative director, Cold Iron.
All right, man. How excited you guys are, man, that now the game is finally coming out to the public, man. That's gonna be very excited for you, right? Because you guys have been working on this for a while.
Exciting. Yeah. We're working on something like this, which we're huge fans of. It's a game that we want to play. We just can't wait to get it out to the public.
Yeah, I mean, we've been having a blast playing it, obviously, for for a while now, and getting it in players' hands is it's the end of the road. It's the dream come true, right?
Yeah. No, but I'm gonna go back, man. When you guys first announced the game, the reactions of the fans was kind of crazy, huh?
It's such an amazing franchise, right? It has such a deep and hardcore fan base. It's one of the reasons why when we started talking with 20th Century Fox and they were like, "Hey, we got Aliens. Do you want to do something?" It's why all of us super fans at Cold Iron Studios just jumped at the opportunity. So yeah, it's so many people really love this franchise, and so we kind of expected when we went out that we'd get some attention, but maybe not as much as we did.
What you can tell us about the game for those that don't know anything about it?
So Aliens Fireteam Elite, it is a co-op survival shooter where you and hopefully two of your friends play as colonial marines fighting off the xenomorph threat. So team up, jump in, fight a bunch of xenomorphs, and go through this campaign.
What was there anything that you guys learned about the franchise while developing this game that you didn't know? Want to answer that, Matt? Or...
Oh man, we were big fans before, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when we started diving into everything outside of the mainline films, right? And we had played other extensions of the franchise, like Alien Isolation is great. There's a lot of great comic books, especially a lot of the recent comics. Started reading more and more of the novels, and we realized how wide and expansive the lore for this universe really is,
mm-hmm.
and how many really cool things we had an opportunity to bring into the game. And it was pretty exciting when we realized we weren't just stuck with one of our favorite films of all time, Aliens, second movie,
mm-hmm.
but we could start pulling in stuff from Prometheus, from the novels, from the comic books, and really get a really wide look at the franchise all in one game.
Was it the same for you too, Craig?
Oh, sure. I mean, again, fan of the movies, fan of the books and comics for such a long time. It was just fantastic to be able to dive a little bit deeper, get some access to things at 20th Century that maybe not saw the light of day, but helped inspire us with what we wanted to do. So yeah, it was really good to get that extra access to be able to look at backstage stuff and other assets. It's fantastic.
Did you guys from the beginning knew that you wanted to do something like this, like a squad-based game or a co-op? Was it like that, or you guys had other ideas before this, working on this?
Sure. So we make online games. That's what Matt and I, the bunch of Cold Iron Studios, our background is making online co-op experiences. Those are the type of games that we really love. Those are the type of games that we want to play. And when 20th Century approached us about Aliens, immediately the fantasy that we want to play is that second movie, right? The first movie, Alien, it's fantastic. Ridley Scott, it's an amazing horror film, right? And quite frankly, in video games, Alien Isolation did an amazing job of bringing that to life, right? Mm-hmm. For me, Aliens, the Cameron-esque action movie there, right? The big bombastic, tons of xenomorphs, tons of firefights. That's something that that for me and the rest of Cold Iron was kind of missing in video games. And going along with the fact that we wanted to do co-op, we wanted to really make that that aliens with an S experience in video games.
Yeah. How about those that are don't have friends online? How about, what about those people that they want to have maybe a single player experience? How about that?
Yeah, I mean, of course we'll match make you if you get online. We'll match you up with two other people for your fire team, but you can also play solo offline, and there's some AI synthetics that will join you and go along with you. So you can play solo offline if that's what you're going for.
Yeah. So what type of features are we going to get to see in the game overall?
So it is a co-op survival shooter. I mean, you team up, you go on missions, you fight tons of different enemies across many different environments. The campaigns that exist, there are 4 campaigns, each have 3 missions. They're all tied together into one big storyline about LV-895, which is kind of where you and your Marine company has been relocated to. That being said, in addition to kind of the expected replayability and whatnot in a co-op survival shooter, we've brought a few new things to the table. So another one of the things that we really want to see within the genre is more experience into the RPG side of things. So you can play as different classes, you level these classes up, you can swap them as you want depending on what enemies you go up against, what other teammates you have on your squad. There are tons of weapons within the game. These also level up, and then you can further customize them with attachments and scopes and magazines and even decals and colorways and stuff like that to really make them your own. So really adding a whole lot of RPG elements to the game also. And then I think one of the features that I'm really excited about getting out there and is something we really enjoy in-house here at Cold Iron is the challenge card system. These are collectible cards that you earn as you play the game, and they're really kind of they're mutators, right? They're the what ifs, allowing you to kind of replay the missions with what if I moved at half speed? What if I only got to take one random gun in? What if, I was taking 2% damage every second throughout the mission? What if I need to complete this mission in 15 minutes? So a lot of things that really kind of mutate and change the gameplay up in weird, interesting ways.
Also, completing those get you different rewards too.
Oh, yeah.
So the ones that are the most challenging, you get a lot better rewards with.
Yeah, so I was about to say
a lot of guns. I mean, there's 30 plus guns. It's like 70 plus attachments that are in there. It's a lot of stuff to upgrade and customize right off the bat. And I think it's I'm looking at the date. God, time goes fast. September 8th is right around the corner. September 8th, our first season comes out, where we add yet another class on top of the launch classes and more guns, more attachments, and that's all free if you buy the base game. Yeah. So we're really digging into character customization and customizing your loadouts and more of that RPG build your character experience.
Yeah, for you guys, like how important is to have a squad, different classes, right? Instead of having like the same class over and over. Is it do you think it will be a better experience having everybody as a different class in the game if you put it really difficult?
We've worked on games where there are classes and roles. Obviously, making a really compelling co-op game, you want to make sure that people have different roles, right? They can fill the damage dealer, the support roles, the crowd control sort of roles, right? But what I'm really excited about is getting this into the public's hand and seeing what they're doing, because each of these kits themselves, each of the classes has multiple different powers, and then you can further customize them as well. So for instance, if you start with the gunner, which is almost our basic Marine class, he has a grenade and then another ability called Overclock. It starts with a normal grenade. You can upgrade it and change that into a remote detonated grenade. You can change it to a concussion grenade. And so there's there are different things that you can end up doing even within that single class. So I'm actually really excited to see kind of what the community is going to do, what builds they put together to kind of take these fire teams and then go up against the hardest difficulties in the game, where there's, you know, a ton of friendly fire, massive amounts of acid damage, and the Xenos just burn you down. So I think part of the joy of developing this sort of game is seeing what the community does with it afterwards.
Yeah, because I know you mentioned about first season, and I know there's gonna be more seasons in the future. Is that means that we're gonna see more of like a new story too, or just is more cosmetics and stuff like that that we're gonna get to see in the future?
So we're looking at the first season comes out with Phalanx, which is the new class with he carries a shield, which is freaking awesome. There's also going to be new game modes and other gameplay centric updates. Each one of them is going to have something big for fans to chew on.
Yep.
Right.
Even the day one patch, we added horde mode with the day one patch, along with a whole bunch of optimizations. But we really do want to make sure that we're adding not just some cosmetics and rewards here and there, but kind of chunky things each season.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down for some horde mode. Let's go. I'll go with that. Now, is there in the game? Is there any new type of enemies that is not in the franchise that you guys added in there too? What you could tell us about that?
Ooh,
if it's possible, no spoilers.
Oh yeah, no. Oh, I think there's going to be spoilers, so probably turn it off now. I mean,
yeah,
like we mentioned, the universe is so expansive, right? We Xenos are the core of it, the heart, right? So we focused on those. We have over 10 of xenomorphs that are unique and interesting. Outside of that, I think you've seen gameplay probably or played it already of fighting Weyland-Yutani synthetics. And that's where you get to dig into the cover system that's in our game and more the ranged combat. And at a certain point in the storyline, you start encountering the black goo, the pathogen that the engineers unleashed in Prometheus and Covenant, and seeing what that does to native life and to the poor scientists that have been left down on the planet. And yeah, there's just so much variety of what you get to fight as a colonial marine here. It gives you a lot of different chances to play with those classes like Craig was talking about, and a lot of different experiences that I've always wanted as a fan to see in the films, but now we get to like actually experience them here.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure that each campaign had different and new enemies in it as you went through the game, and as you chose to go back and replay those, and to kind of fill that out, we just got to go through the franchise, go through the universe, go through the extended universe, and kind of pick and choose things from, you know, the novels, the comics, obviously the movies, even other video games, to kind of fold that stuff in to make sure that we had a huge amount of variety, but that each one of them had their like own AI, the own behavior, the way that they acted and attacked the players, to make sure that it's always fresh and fun.
What about music? Because I love soundtrack. Is that also from the original, or there's also going to be new type of music in there too in the game?
Oh man, heavily inspired by the original films, but you know, we were looking for a composer that could do it justice. You probably know we got Austin Wintory. He's of Journey fame. Journey isn't quite the same thematic elements of Aliens, but you know, we were a fan of his other work, and when we talked to him, he has alien stuff adorning his walls that I'm pretty sure he didn't put up there just for the first chat with us.
For the meeting, right?
Yeah, and he's gone above and beyond. The music is truly something where we're really proud of in the game, and unique soundscape for each one of those campaigns that takes place in a different environment.
That's great. Awesome. That's really cool. Now, I know you guys mentioned about these special cards. It will make the game more difficult. Which one is your favorite out of all those for each one of you guys?
So, I mean, I just like chaos. So there's one that turns all the runners. The runners are the quadruped dog-like aliens from Alien 3. and there's a lot of them, right? They're the fodder, the main fodder from the Xenos. Turns
Mhm.
all of those into bursters, which is a new Xeno that's flooded with acid sacs, and when you kill it, it explodes and leaves a big area of denial on the ground that you have to avoid. And putting it on intense or extreme difficulty where the acid damage really eats at you, and then using the challenge card that turns them all into bursters.
Mhm.
It's pretty messed up to do to your friends. So.
How about you, Craig?
Oh man, I keep trying to think of the one that's my favorite, but there's so many. I think for me, I like the ones that there's part of the Aliens lore, right? The Aliens franchise where you're trying to do something and it seems like a good plan, and then everything goes wrong, or like one little thing goes wrong and it ruins it.
Mhm.
And there are a few challenge cards that kind of throw those kind of curveballs at you. There's one where every once in a while, just randomly, your gun will jam, and then you'll need to reload it several times in order to get it unjammed. And it sounds interesting, but then you're like right in the middle of a firefight and keeping the enemies off of your friends, and then your gun jams. There's another one where your motion tracker, which is really important as enemies are closing in all around you, that just goes offline and malfunctions every once in a while too. So I think that those are the ones that push you over the edge just a little bit more are the ones that I like the most.
There's also a couple that are just only aesthetic.
Mhm.
There's one that makes your whole game looks like it's a pixel art game, and
Hey,
which
I'm
is
down with that too.
kind of fantastic to play through.
It's
for
like
a
old
couple
school, right?
missions.
Old school
Yeah.
right there. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That sounds cool. Now, how much freedom did the studio give you guys to work on this game? Were they like picky, like, no, I think we should stick on this, or it was like, you know what, we'll give it to you guys, go for it, go all out.
Oh, it was both really exciting and really daunting, the amount of freedom that 20th Century gave us. And so when we started on the game, they were like, okay, we want to make sure that you move the storyline forward after Alien 3, and then come up with something that's original that you guys want to do, and really gave us a lot of freedom. Now, I think part of it is that they really understood what big fans of the franchise we are and how into it we are. I think that we find internally that we check ourselves a whole lot more than 20th Century or Disney does in terms of making sure that this game is authentic and feels right and is really true to the universe.
Yeah, I know people are probably going to be asking, like, are we going to get to see any crossplay with other platforms, or this is more cross-gen?
But launch cross-gen, cross-play is something that we'd love to add later. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool, because I have friends that they're in the PC and I'm a console guy, so I want to play with them too. Yeah.
Yeah. So at launch, we're doing cross-gen and free upgrades from last-gen console to next-gen console.
Yeah.
We know those are kind of hard to get sometimes still.
How difficult was it for you guys working on this title, during the pandemic last year, because, everybody's at home. Was it tough for you guys as a team?
I think it's been tough for everybody in the world, right? I mean, we're going through a lot of the same challenges everybody is, but man, our team was we're very small. I mean, we have 40 to 50 people. We were very tight knit before the pandemic. So when we went home, it was arguably a lot easier than maybe some other people had it, keeping our flow going. And just like every other challenge in game development, we found a way around it, and we've actually found ways to really improve our process. Like we all hang out on Discord all day, and it's kind of great. It's a little bit better than being in an office because you can have everybody's screen up at the same time, and when you want to look over and collaborate with somebody, it's one button click. It's not. I'm showing how lazy I am. It's not walking 100 feet across the studio. But yeah, I mean, we all really miss hanging out right next to each other, but it's also opened up our studio for really figuring out how to get remote working. And we have people all across the United States now. It's something that we we were able to invest in over the last year and develop like a really successful remote work situation. And I think no matter what ends up happening with COVID and stay at home, we're in a better spot now as a healthy studio than we were before.
That's good, and I'm glad everybody's safe too. So, and
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
I hope you guys can celebrate together in person safely. That would be awesome,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, we got a few people still in San Jose, and yeah, we're gonna try to figure something out.
Yeah.
But you know, people have become experts at Discord parties now. So
Yeah. So for those that never got the opportunity to play the beta version of this, because I know it came out, was it a month ago or so? But they seen clips and they seen the trailer. Why they should buy this game?
oh man, you're asking us for like the corporate elevator
The
pitch.
corporate. Let's go.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you why I would buy the game. I
Go
am
for
a
it.
fan of Aliens, but I'm a fan of shooters and having a good time with friends in video games, and being able to load this up for $40, which is, in my opinion, just an insane price. That's great. And there's a really, really good place for that now. $40, play with 2 other friends, have a blast. You get you get 4 campaigns of 3 missions each of campaign storyline, and then horde mode on top of that. There's just so much to do in the game, and man, it's just unbeatable fun for $40.
Yeah, exactly what Matt said. As much effort as we put into and to try to make this a love letter to the franchise, at its core, it's a really, really fun co-op game, and just sitting down and playing with your friends. That to me is kind of the core experience of the game.
Yeah. Now I just want to say congratulations to you guys, and I can't wait to see the public also to try this game, man. I'm very, very excited to see.
Yeah,
man.
we're excited.
Thanks
Just
so much.
A couple days now, man.
Yeah, the countdown. Let's go.
I know.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, bye. Thanks.
All right.
Thanks, Danny.
No problem.